As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Neo Humanity, we have the South Korean Zerg player representing Onside Gaming. It is Solar. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Zerg, or the other South Korean Zerg player representing CranKy Gaming. It is Dark. Here we go. These two players have faced off many times throughout the course of their careers, even many times this year as well. I think we had an ESL... No, we didn't have an ESL Asia Finals. We had a KSL Finals of Solar versus Dark a couple of weeks ago. And fun fact, that was the week that Cure didn't show up, Beyond didn't, the Terrans didn't show up. I think Gumiho was like the only Terran representative, and Hero forfeited. Hero forfeited in the quarterfinals. I don't know what happened, but Hero couldn't play in the KSL, and that led to Solar versus Dark in the grand finals, which I'm more than happy with. But yeah, the ZvZ finals don't happen too often, because usually things like this happen instead, where, you know, Dark and Solar, they face off and meet in earlier rounds. Or a player like Hero or Beyond stops one of them. But now they do meet here in the quarterfinals. And so far, Hatchgas Pool, nothing too crazy between our two players to begin with. Typically, aggression starts once the third bases are being taken. One of these two players is going to take the role of the aggressor, is going to amass lings, counterattack, and typically that is Dark. Typically. And I know Solar has more of a reputation of being a more like defensive, like macro-oriented player, but in ZvZ that goes out the window. Likewise, he is willing to be aggressive. He's willing to be assertive. He's willing to go for these like +1 carapace roachal lins. He's willing to cut drones at any moment. Solar, he lets out his animalistic wild side in ZvZ specifically as well, which I appreciate. I always do appreciate it. First couple lings are going to be moving out just to get a scout off and figure out what his opponent is up to. Interesting, Dark actually hasn't made a single ling. Huh. Okay, so there's a lot going on right now. One, Dark is being quite greedy. He delayed ling production until now. The Queens are moving on forward to try and deny scouting and try and deny Solar from figuring out what's going on. Before that happens, Solar, he checks the third base location. He checked the triangular third with his overlords, the center third with his overlords, and now the linear third with his lings. Dark setting up for two base plays. Solar goes for his third at the forward base location. Oh boy. Here we go. So upon seeing this, Solar, even though he has the forward base, he should be taking a more defensive position because he's ahead economically, or he's about to be ahead. Meanwhile, Dark is ling flooding. Oh my god. Okay. This is wild. This is crazy. This is actually crazy. Lings get cleaned up. Solar, I'm sure he's assuming a two-base Roach, but he should have seen the Baneling Nest instead of the Roach one. And here we go. Lings are flooding across the map. I'm sure Dark was hoping that Solar would cancel his Baneling Nest, but no, his does finish up just in time. Lings do arrive though. We're getting us around one of these Queens. It looks like Dark may just have a little bit too much with the reinforcements coming in. It looks like Solar can he hold. The Queens are falling, but the Banelings finish. With the arrival of the Banelings, it looks like Solar is going to be able to force Dark back. Dark is droning up back at home. We have +1 carapace on the way. Third base as well. Dark did a nice amount of damage killing those Queens, but he wasn't able to do more than that. Again, I'm pretty sure he was hoping that upon seeing the two-base opener that Solar would cancel his Baneling Nest. Alas, did not work out. Oh, the Banelings of Solar run into the Queens. Solar trying to make use of the lings that he was forced to make. He wants to try to force a cancel on this third. But alas, it looks like he's being forced back, and yeah, this is such a wild start. So we have to take a moment to take stock. So Solar still has the advantage. Where like even in tech, Solar, he's working towards a Roach Warren. He has his base, or he has his third. He has a Rich Vespian Gas Geyser as well. So Solar has the economic lead. Meanwhile, Dark now finishes up his third base, and he has an upgrade lead. +1 carapace is about to finish up. And with the completion of this Roach Warren, I wouldn't be surprised if Dark does try to hit a timing here with his upgrade. Like Ling Roach can do so well here with +1 carapace because the defensive banelings of the opposing player, like they're not anywhere near as effective because it will take 2 banelings to kill a Ling instead of 1. With that upgrade. Meanwhile, Solar does prioritize saturating that gas geyser. He's going straight into Roach production as we speak. No Evo chamber, so it looks like Solar's going all in. No Evo chamber means Solar has no longevity in this game. The Lings, they do run past the banelings of Solar. He's getting into the bases. Up. Oh, Solar detonation there. The Queen goes down. Drones are falling left and right, but the Roaches should be able to clean this up. Before they do, though, it's Dark. He's target firing so many of these drones. 7 drones go down. Could even get an 8th. But does Solar care? That's the thing. Like, again, Solar, he's done droning. No upgrades, no lair either. This is just a Ling Roach all in here off of Hatch Tech. Now, Dark, the pressure is on him to hold. He does have now +1 range on the way. He can bring his queens forward as well. No spine crawlers, which is concerning. Uh-oh. It is very concerning for Dark. He's going to try to hold on with just his army and his queens. Solar has so much working for him. Banelings are rolling on him. We do see the Lings trying to force detonations on those Banelings early on. I believe like 2 or 3 Banelings got sniped. Oof. Yeah, the Banelings do soften up these Roaches for the Roaches of Solar to clean up, but it looks like Dark has too much, especially with +1 carapace. He's able to hold on. GG gets called, and Dark takes game number 1. GG. Oh my god. That was Dark's opener was wild, by the way. Like, I don't know, like I don't know how good of a job I did at emphasizing like going for a 2-base opener with no Roach Warren and going for a delayed Baneliness as well to eventually take a 3rd base behind it. Like, it's that was so quirky. Like, you don't see Zerg players do that. It was really cool. Really cool. GG. GG, well played. Imagine ramen in a beer helmet. Yo. You could make that happen. I don't know if that's... I don't think that's necessary, but okay. How is that not a thing? Now that I think... How is... Not a beer helmet ramen thing. How are there not headsets out there that have like straws that come out of them with like cups on them where you can where you can store like beverages? That has to be a thing, right? Like, if we have uwu weeaboo cat ear like speaker headsets, if those exist, then there have to be like headsets that let you like drink while gaming. Right? that just sounds so obvious. I'm gonna look into this. Spawning in the top right-hand corner of Ancient Cistern, we have the South Korean Zerg player representing on Side Gaming. Oh, down in this series, but not out. It is Solar. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Ancient Cistern, we have as opponent, we have the South Korean Zerg representing CranKy Gaming, leading the series 1-0. It is Dark. I'm not coming across anything in this in Google, unfortunately, which is crazy, by the way. It's crazy. Oh, I feel like there's marketing opportunity there. But regardless, we're getting into game 2, getting into our second game here of this series, and So far, hatch gas pool all around, nothing too crazy. We are on Ancient Cistern, one of the larger maps in the map pool. Because of that, going for these early timings and going for like what Solar did last game, going for a hatch tech all in, is ill-advised. The rush distance by ground is very long. The Overlord pathing or the Overlord positioning here gives you a lot of time to respond and a lot of time to react. So I expect, if we do see aggression, of course, I expect it to be off of 3 bases, not off of 2. But we'll see. We shall see. I hear catching up in the chat. As our players are just getting into the swing of things here. Again, the openers have been very standard so far. We should be seeing some lings move out to scouts, this time from both players. This time, Dark does not skip out on those lings. So with this, he's going to be confirming that his opponent isn't, you know, cutting workers, isn't going for early gases. No early Roach Warren either. And we should be seeing our third bases taken. And there we go. Solar is the first to take his. Dark a couple of seconds behind, but on the way regardless. We have our third bases. Bailey Nest is thrown down for Solar. Bailey Nest should be thrown down for Dark, and there it is. Likewise, only like 1 or 2 seconds differential, but not the biggest of deals. Is on the way. And yeah, we're going to have ourselves a ZvZ. This is the stock standard meta way to open up in ZvZ. Ooh, but Dark is throwing down a very early Roach Warden hidden here behind the mineral line. Oh boy, in that natural. So Dark is looking to be the aggressor. He may try to skip out on Baneling production. He may even cancel this Baneling nest, just so we can squeeze out as many roaches as possible. Oh boy. Meanwhile, Solar is still playing quite standard here, just going for his wall, setting up defensive Banelings back at home. He has a couple of links to be aggressive, but for the most part, Solar is droning. Dark isn't. Dark is cutting workers at 29. That is all the workers he has. He's making nothing but roaches. He's not wasting his gas on Banelings. Oh, the Ling gets in! Oh, the Ling will get a scout off, but doesn't check behind the natural base. Can he see the roaches as they come out? No, he cannot. The Ling does go down. The roaches pop out afterwards. The Roach Warren was not scattered. The saturation on the natural wasn't scattered either. And here we go. The roaches have been revealed. Solar knows. Immediately, he throws down a spine crawler. I think he's going to need more than one. But spines are on the way. We see Banelings being morphed in across the map as well, just to help support those roaches. Gases are being taken. Solar, he wants to get into roach production of his own as soon as possible. This third base of Solar is very under threat. We'll see if he can hold on to it. But again, Dark needs to do more than just deny this base. He needs to kill his opponent. Oh my god, a massive Baneling detonation in favor of Dark. And that may just be it. The Banelings of Solar are not going to finish up at all. One of them does connect, but it's not enough. Dark is busting on through. There's a spine crawler, but one is not enough. GG gets called, and Dark takes the series 2-0. GG. Unfortunately, it took a long time for Solar to, or unfortunately that one Ling that slipped in didn't see what it needed to figure out that the all-in was happening. He didn't see the lack of drones at the natural. He didn't see the Roach Warren either. Oh, so it took him a little bit longer to react to what was happening. And even with that reaction, if you're wondering like what Solar could have done or quote-unquote should have done, is give up the third. He fought hard and he lost a lot trying to protect that third base. His opponent was all in. Dark was completely all in. He didn't even have 2 base saturation. That's how committed he was. Solar, he needed to recognize to give up his third, to just throw down more spine crawlers and focus on the defense at his natural instead. Alas, he was kind of baited into fighting at the third base, and yeah, GG. Very well done there by Dark, as he does take the series 2-0 and advance on to the semifinals. GG.